Okay, we are back. We are talking about presumptive tax, turnover tax. What do we know so far? If your PIN number starts with an A and you have a side business or you are doing any engagement with consumers and selling goods, then you are liable to the turnover tax. If you're getting a business permit, you're already liable to the presumptive tax. At least that's one hint that we have gotten. The second one that we have heard is you need to keep records. We are just trying to understand how easy it is to keep records. And the reference point we are using is a Mr. Njoroge who sells mandazis every morning, but he gets his inputs from Mama Pima, from Baba Pima. How do you actually keep records to see what you are doing? Now, we are joined in studio by Monica, who is a tax expert at the Domestic Department of the Kenya Revenue Authority. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
The turnover tax, the presumptive tax. Is this the first time we're hearing about them?
No, they were there before, but then the TOT and the presumptive tax were put to stop because it had to be rethought again about how it was being implemented.
Okay.
Because earlier on, turnover tax used to be a quarterly return.
Yes.
So it used to be done every quarter, and then it was not working very well. So the government had to go back to the drawing board to come up with a simpler way of making this.
Of making it work.
Yeah.
So if I was running a business in the old regime, am I liable to pay turnover tax from back in the day? For example, maybe I have a 10-year-old business and I didn't comply the first time that this tax incident became liable. Am I due to pay penalties and outstanding taxes for that period?
If you have any outstanding taxes in previous years, that's still due, because the government can go back 5 years to collect tax that is still due.
Okay.
Yeah.
5 years from today.
Yeah.
When was the last time the turnover tax was liable, was due to be paid?
So turnover tax was stopped in 2018 when presumptive tax came in. Yeah.
So for instance, if I had started a business in 2013 and I did not, for one reason or another, declare or make good my turnover tax, does that mean that I'm still liable for maybe a year or two of turnover tax?
If you had filed your returns and not paid,
Yes.
that tax is still due.
Okay.
Yeah.
If I had not filed my returns then?
If you had not filed your returns then we can assess tax 5 years back.
5 years
So
back.
the Tax Procedures Act allows KRA to go 5 years back. So
Okay.
we can request that you provide the records for that period and then do an assessment.
And do an assessment.
Yeah.
In the absence of formal records, what would you advise a sole proprietor to do, for instance?
In the absence of formal records, I'd advise you start keeping the formal records right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you start from there.
Yes, because now what we do is we gather third-party information. For example, we might ask you for M-Pesa statement, we might ask you for bank statements.
For 5 years back?
Yeah, 5 years back. So, or any other records, because you are not doing business alone. You are doing business with other people.
Yes.
So we might need to involve third parties to provide that information.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. It means that we have to rethink what we've been doing for a while now.
Yeah.
Then how is this administration of the turnover tax different today from what it was 2 or 3 years back when it was still in force? I know you've said one thing is the fact that then it was quarterly, today it's monthly.
Yeah. So just that then there was no presumptive tax. So there is now that 15% of the business permit. Then there is now the return is easy because now the return is populated with all the formulas. So all you need to do is input your amount, and then the system will calculate, and then you'll be able to generate a payment slip. So and then the guidelines now are clear on who qualifies and who doesn't qualify.
And who doesn't qualify.
Yeah.
Am I paying more tax today then compared to what I was paying 3 years ago? Because now I have turnover tax and I have presumptive tax.
But remember, presumptive tax will be deducted against the turnover tax tax that is due.
All right.
Yeah, so you pay less what you already paid before.
But if the presumptive tax came into force in January of 2019 and I was only paying 15% of my business permit, now I'm over and above that I am paying turnover tax. Isn't that an additional tax burden?
You see, it's a simpler, the payoff here is this is a simpler mode of taxation, and also it's a lower rate. Remember the ones in the annual regime, the annual taxation regime will pay 30% of their profits.
Before tax?
No. 30% of their profit. So let's say you've made a profit of 100,000, you will pay 30% of that.
Okay.
But those in the monthly system will pay 3% of their annual their monthly turnover. So that means that this is a simplified system, lower rate of taxation, and it will cost you less, because now you might not need to hire an accountant to do the books, to do the financial accounts, to audit the accounts, and then file the returns for you. So it becomes easy for you to, it's a simplified way of a normal Kenyan who is in business to pay
taxes.
Yeah.
Okay. In terms of now the engagement with the Kenya Revenue Authority from the businesses that would be liable to pay this, we've had some businesses come and say they've got a random call. Somebody says they're calling from KRA saying you haven't made your taxes for the last 5 months. You have penalties if you don't pay your penalties, blah blah blah. And this is a business actually of somebody that I know, and it's, how do you validate if such a call is really from KRA? And conversely, who do I speak to at the Kenya Revenue Authority if I want to understand, okay, there's this tax, I want to pay, I want to comply. I want to comply.
Yeah.
Because the feedback we are sort of getting, and we are seeing people talking to us online, is there's a number that never goes answered. And if it does go answered, at times the information that people get from some of these agents vis-a-vis the information that is on law and on paper tends to be a disparity. What are the right channels to actually articulate what exactly do I need to do as Mbithe who runs a business and I want to make good my obligations to KRA?
Okay, you could visit a KRA office, or you could make that call or write an email.
Okay.
To the KRA.
To KRA.
And
okay.
if you see, like, I don't think there are so many cases. I don't know. I don't presume that there are so many cases of. It might be maybe one person who has given a wrong answer.
Okay.
But then we strive to provide the correct information, and also, like, our website has all the tax information, all the tax heads, and it explains what is happening. And also we hold seminars. We hold, like, every first and second Thursday of the month. We hold education seminars on 5th floor at Times Tower.
Every first and second Thursday of the month?
Yes.
Do I have to pre-register?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, you just show up, but now you come with identification documents.
Okay.
Like just your ID.
Your ID.
Yeah.
Okay.
So from 8:30 to 12:30.
8:30 to 12:30.
Yeah.
In these teachings,
yeah,
can I come, for instance, with my records and say, this is me, I am Mbithe, this is my PIN number,
yeah,
this is the business that I do.
Yeah.
What taxes do I owe you?
Yes,
or what taxes
you
do
can
I
come with whatever information you have.
Yes.
And then we'll be able to advise you at that point.
Or at least to tell me, not even the amount, but to tell me
this is what you need to
this
do.
Is what you need to do. You need to be collecting withholding tax.
Yeah.
You need to be taking VAT, and especially on presumptive and turnover tax. Is that a conversation that I can possibly come and hope to get?
Yes, you can.
Okay, that's the first and second Thursday. On this is on the 5th floor at Times Tower.
Yes.
8:30 to 12:30.
Yeah.
Does this happen in other counties?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
But the thing is, I'm not sure the exact days they hold their seminars.
Okay, so it's something that we could always
we can
always
contact the
find out.
nearest KRA office for that information. And then also the Huduma centers.
The Huduma centers.
Yeah.
Okay, Huduma centers are special. There's just a lot going on, but okay. So Huduma center is also another place where I can go and I take a ticket and I say I have a query on the domestic taxes.
Yeah.
Would we be right to assume that the same way you're engaging with us at the public level is the same way that you're also sensitizing some of these public officers in terms of what is needed or what is required with different tax line items?
For Huduma centers?
Yes.
We have our officers there.
Oh, so these are
specific KRA officers who are
officers
stationed at Huduma centers.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So let's move on to digital platforms. The Finance Act also did come about and say, if you are operating a business on a digital platform, you are liable for tax.
Yeah.
What's a digital platform?
So the digital platform is where you're doing business online. So at this point, whatever service you're offering at this point, you're doing it online. You maybe don't have a physical place of business. All your transactions are online. So the Act just put this income into the tax bracket. It defined the digital economy because now the Kenyan government has to come up with ways to match the market. So where we are in Kenya, most things are done online. You find maybe a young person has decided to start doing a business online, and they receive their payments via the online platform. So it's just to say that this income is just like any other taxable income in Kenya, and you will have to pay
Break
the
it down for
relevant
us.
taxes.
I sell sugarcane on Facebook. Okay, not sugarcane. Okay, maybe shoes.
Yeah.
I see most people putting up shoes or clothes or human hair or something of the sort. So I have a page on Facebook, I have a page on Instagram, even on Twitter. Are these considered digital platforms?
Yes, they are.
So then how would I evaluate how much tax I'm due to pay?
The mechanism of calculating taxes does not change, because you're receiving income and expenses.
Okay.
So remember, taxes is just what did I get, what did I incur to get this income, what profit did I get, and now I pay taxes on that profit.
And how do I differentiate? Because at times I could be selling, you know, if I'm in the business of selling things online, it means I'm there on the online platform at least every other day, if not every day, which would constitute a business. But there are people who once in a while say, okay, I'm tired of my phone, I want to sell it. And then I put out a post and I'm like, okay, hey guys, I'm selling my phone, I want to get a new phone. How do you differentiate between a business and one-off ad hoc engagements on a digital platform?
You see, there is continuity of the business. For example, it's a going concern. There's you have a presence there, you have a mode of paying, maybe you've given, it's something that is, it has a life. Because
so it's something that is continuous and it's a going concern. So then I would take my estimated sales, or at least my sales for the last 1 month, then I go to the KRA website, I put in my PIN number, which starts with an A, and then say this were my estimated sales. How would I provide records for that then? Again, should I also uphold the recording system that a manual business would do?
You see, now it depends. Maybe you're issuing digital receipts, or maybe how are you receiving these payments?
Assume I'm receiving, because most of the sites that we see when they're selling things and it's business to consumer, you'll tend to see, okay, order this, if you want to make a reservation, pay to this number. Some will have a pay bill, but more often than not, it's normally just an individual's number.
So that's your record.
That's
your record for that point, because the M-Pesa statement is something you can produce as a record.
Interesting. Is there anything else that you want to bring out when you're talking about presumptive and turnover tax that we might have omitted?
I'd just like to talk about the penalties, because now there's a penalty for late filing. Remember, we've said that this return is due 20th of the following month. So let's say for the Jan, you're supposed to file it by 20th of Feb. So there's a penalty of 5,000 if you don't file on time.
So let's assume most Kenyans already will owe you 5,000 by the end of February. And it's 5,000 for every month.
Yes.
But Monica, I mean, what do I do if I come to you in December and realize I need to pay this tax? Don't you think 5,000 is punitive?
As a
tax. Let me just let me read something here. We have somebody online. He's called Faisal Nganga, and he says, for a normal Kenyan like me, this presumptive tax and the turnover tax, they are too many and confusing. And this person says that he stopped filing his tax returns 2 years ago. Now, assume this person comes to KRA, and I mean, I'm not putting you on the spot, but I'm just saying this is somebody who has a real life case. And perhaps they're saying, okay, this year I want to do better because I want to scale my business. What would such a person do? What would you tell Faisal Nganga to do in this case?
So I'd tell Faisal to comply, because I believe compliance is cheaper. Because then you don't have to incur any penalties. Like, let's say you want your tax compliance certificate, you just go through if you have been compliant.
So for him to comply, would that mean paying 120,000 because he hasn't filed for 2 years, and it's probably 5,000 for a month?
This is a penalty for the turnover tax.
This is for turnover tax.
So the annual returns is 2,000 for individuals.
2,000 per month?
No, per annum.
Per annum.
It's an annual return.
So Faisal, I think the communication is here would be you'd owe 4,000 for the 2 years you haven't filed
and
your
you
taxes.
still have to file that return.
And you have to file those returns. And then if you don't file your turnover tax, then you need to consider that you'll pay 5,000 for every month omitted. What if Faisal doesn't have a presumptive tax? Will he be required to get a presumptive tax?
If he gets a business permit,
What if he
this is
doesn't
based-
get? Must he get a business permit?
Yes,
to
because
operate?
this is pegged on the business permit.
Okay.
It is at 15%
Yes.
of the license fee.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he must apply for a business permit.
You see, now applying for a business permit comes with the city council or the county government regulations. So as you're getting you're operating a business in a county, they have fees that you're required to pay. So when you comply with those fees, there's also the presumptive tax that comes into play.
My very final question. This guy who's selling boiled eggs, my Mboiro, and we discussed this during the break, so allow me to put you on the spot.
Yeah.
So let's call him Minor, okay, money.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, let's just call him Mr. X. Mr. X, my Mboiro, 30 bob, 30 bob. You know, he wakes up in the morning, he has a big sufuria, he puts water, he boils his eggs, then he chops up his kachumbari, and then he walks around. Right? Or even the people who normally sell the boiled eggs and the smokies on the streets on your way to work, the people normally, I've never seen them with a business permit.
Yeah.
So then what does this person do if they want to comply with this tax now? Do they go and now start seeking a business permit to walk around Nairobi and sell these things that they're selling? Yeah. Where do they even start?
Now you see that the according to that the acts, it's that when you get the business permit,
yes,
you pay 15% of the license fee. So on a case-by-case analysis, you can find that there are places where people don't have the business permits that are required by maybe the county government to operate that kind of business. So that's maybe a loophole that many people tend to take advantage of. But then, as I'm saying, compliance is cheaper.
Compliance is cheaper.
In all ways, compliance is cheaper. So if you're required to get a business permit by the county government to operate the business, go get it and then comply. All
right, fantastic. Yeah. Thank you so much, Monica, for your time. Compliance is it's better than actually paying the penalties. So usipatikane, you need to comply with these taxes. We were talking about the presumptive tax and the turnover tax, and there's certainly more information if anybody wants to understand this on the Kenya Revenue website, and maybe hopefully if we have additional questions we can always reach out as well.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much for your time, Monica. Thank you so much for your viewership. We're still having this conversation running live on our Twitter page. That is Metropole TV and Bithem Wemar as well. Hit us up and ask us what your questions are, and we'll certainly be happy to be the liaison between yourselves and the Kenya Revenue Authority to ensure that you get the right information. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon, and good afternoon.